Hello, my name is Dylan, and this is my walkthrough of my production of the song After Tense by my band Fly In Fly Out. I recorded this over the course of two recording sessions, two tracking sessions, where in the first one we did drums, and in the second one we did guitar and vocals. And we also did bass in the first one, just after doing the drums. So I thought I'd walk you through the drum sound first. Let's take off the mastering processing, and I'll find the drum tracks over here. So the drum recording mics consisted of two overheads, a hi-hat mic, a top and bottom snare mic, a rack tom mic, a floor tom mic, a kick in and out mic. So inside we had outside we had a RE320, and inside we had a Beta 91. For a room mic we had a SEX1, which is a ribbon mic. That's nice. Yeah, that's all the drums for now. So if we start with the kick sound, without any processing, sounded like this. Pretty standard. So on both of these I put on a little bit of EQ to make them a bit more clicky and a bit more bassy as well. There it is. And then I also put gates, so they're completely isolated. And then let's go from the top. More EQing. Let's get a good click and a lot of low end as well. Compression. I think that's a bit of slapback, very, very quietly. This plug-in supercharger, I think it's Native Instruments, which came with a Contact Elements pack that I got. So because I did this all on my laptop, which doesn't have as many plugins as these college computers. But yeah. Bit more compression, little bit of reverb, more compression really, loads of compression to make it really punch. And that's what the kick sound consists of. We can go to the snare, which is pretty mean. Without all the processing, sounds pretty naff. Well, not too bad, because the actual snare, my snare, I had it tuned quite nicely, and I kind of highlighted the tones that I wanted to out of the tuning. We got a gate on it, not too aggressive cut-offs, just because you want a bit of the ring. Tiny bit of distortion. Some more high-end EQing, looks like. Compression, and this gave a bit more tone. You can listen without it. With it, it just has like extra resonance, which is strange, but I liked how it sounded. A mild bit crusher, because I like distorted snare sounds for some reason. Clearly. Bit more compression. What's this EQ doing? Bit of mid for some reason. And some reverb. And I think it's pretty mean. I like to experiment when coming up with drum tones and all that, just building up these stacks of processing, just trying to hear what needs to be done next, seeing what happens when you take stuff away, and usually works out alright. So that's the snare and the kick. What else we got? We got overheads. So yeah, I've actually got the overhead sidechain to the kick and the snare, so that I don't know if that's one of them. Oh, it might be. Yeah, it was. Just to make them a bit lively. We've got some EQ, bit of high end, bit of mid, just some general compression as well, and another bit of EQ. It's kind of it, seems. Bit of linear EQ in there for some reason. That seems to be doing some weird phasing stuff. I think it's 'cause it's only on one of them. Huh. Didn't even notice that. I mean, that must have been causing some phasing issues, because now they seem to be more aligned. Okay, I don't know what I've done there. I think I've also turned something on here that I shouldn't have on the snare, because it doesn't sound the same. That's strange. Anyway, it sounded better before anyway. So we've got some... That's the overheads. Right, cool. We've got a hi-hat mic. It's a bit crazy. I wanted to go weird with it and put a phaser on it, but I refrained, as it was quite a strange concept and didn't quite sound good in the mix. But didn't need much going on, just a tiny bit of compression, tiny bit of EQing. I was happy with that. We've also got the Tom mics, which, oh, that was perfect timing. Not much going on there, just highlighting the tones that we wanted. Was all that, and a bit of compression and EQing and heavy gate, so that you're not getting loads of bleed the whole time. We just get that every time there's a fill, you get that, so that's nice. Okay, and the room mic sounded like this. EQ and compression again did the job. All the compression is sidechain to the kick and snare again, like the overheads. Keeps it lively. And that is the drums. That is all the drums. I'm trying to work out what it is that's making the snare sound different. I think maybe it's just... Maybe it's just too loud. Huh. Anyway, let's go on to bass now, because it's pretty simple. There's one track. We had a dirty sound and a clean sound. I've done a stereo spread, so it's sort of to the right. It's got some chorus and some EQ. And the dirty, it's got some pretty extensive EQ. Well, not really, not like that one. But when you've got them both together, this main EQ, there's a lot going on. It's got some crunch. It's added a lot of that high mid grit, which is very necessary, I think, for a song like this. Some exciter, does a lot actually, and some extra compression, making it sound like pretty fat. So that's the bass, and the guitars, there's a lot going on with the guitar, if we're being completely honest, because we layered a lot up. So we've got the main guitars. Every guitar track is done with a 57, SM57, and an RA320 on different cones of the amps. And we did it all stereo, all left, well, not stereo. I think we recorded the whole track twice. We double tracked it left and right with most of the parts, and if we weren't double tracking, then they would be like on either side. But the main guitar part sounds like this. Because we already had a lot of tonal stuff going on with James's pedals and all that, and the amp, all that we really needed was an EQ and some reverb, some extra reverb. Just bringing out them good tones. And that's all we had for that section. Of course, I'm pretty sure all the guitars are basically the same, processing wise. Bit of EQ. This one's got a little compression. There's that one as well, I only missed. Yeah, not much to that really. But it all, that's on top of these. All double tracked again. This was an added layer in the second verse. Just to the right, which is a nice touch. That was James's idea. So this bit's interesting because here, James is doing this low chug crunch thing that goes with the bass. Where is it? Yeah. They're doing that together. But in this next section, he initially stops he started going into this solo, but that meant that we lost the sound of the chunk in that first bit. Because if you listen here, you've got the low end, but in this transition you lose it, and it's just the bass on its own. So what I did was I bounced that part out into this. This was a bit weird because this is when I discovered flex pitch. If you go in there, can you see how I've edited the notes of it to fit the extra chords that James didn't originally play. So this is the same. Didn't have to change anything here. So here, I had to add another note there, and then here, I had to go up, and then down, and then we're back to normal. And in doing that, I just managed to add some extra thickness to the sound of that section. And the guys in the band were very happy with that. Even though it sounds a bit weird on its own. Especially this bit. But with the rest of the tune, it sounds pretty decent. Back into this, left and right, and you get this overdub again, but in the left side this time. That's the guitar and the bass and everything. Everything left now is the vocals, so I'll just show you those. Where are those babies? Main Vox. So, what we have here is a... Oh. Let's turn off that. We have a gate. We have slight auto-tune, slight pitch correction. Because Paul was a little bit pitchy and uncontrolled when he was recording, but this just made it. I haven't got it very fast because otherwise it sounds kind of insane. But it was enough to. I took out the wrong notes and left him only with the nice ones, and it added a nice little vibrato there, and I was mostly happy with that whole result. There's some compression, a lot of tape delay with some, diffusing stuff, and a high and low cut as well. Make it sound a bit wavy. There's a spring reverb there. I think I thought about adding a bunch of distortion, but obviously decided against it. Some EQ and more compression for some reason, but hey ho, sounded alright. The harmonies were just an idea. I got a bit trigger happy with the flex pitch feature and came up with some pretty insane harmonies for some of these sections. If you wanna, might as well check that out. We could magnify the worst currents nullified. 3-part harmonies. Calculate and multiply. Because that was obviously using the exact same take as the main vocals, but with some changes. I was very chuffed with this one. 100,000 times. But unfortunately, they did not like how that sounded in the mix. 100,000 times. And I don't blame them. It's, you know, it was pretty over the top. It sounds fine as it is. And that was all the vocals. He didn't want to do any harmonies. He didn't want to do any overdubs. So he was happy with that as it is. So that is pretty much covering everything. Don't know what this is. Is this anything? Furthest we could yeah. Also, last thing, this guitar track here was it that? Yeah. Wait, why is there two? I don't know why there's two. Huh. Yeah, basically it was the initial just DI recording. Yeah, it's the same file. It was the initial DI recording of the guitar when we were recording it, because when we recorded the drums, we recorded, they were in the other room, they were in the control room playing the guitar and bass at the same time. And before we managed to get the guitar tracked as well, I gave it a bit of a mix with just the DI guitar, and this was a strange effect I managed to get with the guitar that I really liked. And when we re-recorded it, he also re-recorded that section, that do-do-do-do-do, but I preferred the one from the old DI recording, so I just, because I got the effect from, I think it was like a, where was it? I think it was in here. Yeah, the auto funk, the auto wah. It gives it this. The way it reacts to the audio file is just really special. So as an intro, I quite liked it. And that is everything. The only thing now is the mastering I ended up doing, which basically I did some compression and some reverb. And when I was playing it through my Mac speakers, my MacBook speakers, I was hearing these harmonics that was just ringing really loudly, and it was almost overpowering the rest of the track. And I was just thinking, where did these come from? I didn't hear these when I had my headphones on. But I'm always hearing people saying about when they're mastering a track, because I'm not much of a masterer myself. Haven't done it many times, but when I've heard people talking about it, and also found the exact same thing when I was volunteering for the Great Escape recently, and someone was doing this exact thing with the microphones, was pinpointing using EQ the harmonics that are causing all the feedback in the room, and then just dipping them and getting rid of them. So if you listen to the difference between the harmonics in the master to when I have this on and off, it takes away a lot of the ringing. That made a huge difference with the way it would play through like my iPhone and my Mac. That was just a cool little insight. I'm still gonna get it sent off to be properly mastered because I've only done like 4 things there, but that was just an interesting little discovery for me. But that is the mixing process of the track. It may be a bit messy, but I've seen messier projects, and actually I'm relatively happy with the outcome, with the initial sound. So yeah, that's all that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Peace.